guys, I am back on All Things Bipolar channel with SNM. So the last time we did a retrospection in the life of SNM. I've known her since 2013, and then we did it from 2013 to 2016. Today I want us to tell you much more what happened in 2017 and in 2018, and if there is time we'll do 2019 and 2020. So in 2017, I can say it's one of the very good years knowing SNL. As far as her bipolar condition is concerned, it's one of the best years. Now, it started from the fact that she being a French student in Legon, she's supposed to go for a year abroad. And the year abroad was a scholarship. If you are not on scholarship, it means you are going to pay majority of the expenses yourself. So we had France, we had Benin. In actual sense, we would be happy if she had gone to France, but the cost involved, so we thought wise she goes to Benin. Even Benin, her parents had issues with she leaving Ghana because she had started showing signs, and then we have seen a lot of her manic episode and her depression episodes, so her parents were not so excited her leaving their presence. What about if she goes to Benin and something happened and no family member is around? That was their main cause, their main issue for they not wanting her to go. But I thought that she needed a change of environment. I had told her before even this opportunity came, so I told her that we should take this opportunity, we should grab it. It was based on how well you are doing in school, so she was afraid she was not going to get it. Because the previous years, she has become unstable, in her health condition. She was not doing so well in her academics. Me knowing her, she's a very intelligent student, very intelligent. If you check her BEC, she had 1 throughout. If you check her BEC, she had 1 throughout. Her WASI result was perfect. So we were surprised she was not doing well until we got to know that she has this issue. I spoke to her parents that this is a good opportunity for Ese to go. I encourage SNM herself that this is a good opportunity for her to have a change of environment and start afresh. One of my reasons is that this condition has to do with health, mental health. And then sometimes when you have a very good environment, when you leave your environment which all these things started from, and you go to a different environment to start a new life, you are able to pick up, things are able to happen for you. You're able to forget the past and move on, have a change of environment, start all afresh. So that was the main reason why I wanted her to go. Thank God she was able to make it. So when they brought the list, she was either the last person or the penultimate person on the list. We prayed and she got it, and then she had to go. Then the parents supported her, she left for Benin. Trust me, that 1 year in Benin, I can say is one of the best times she had ever had since she experienced this bipolar disorder thing. It was a good year. She was in Benin. I followed up on her and made sure that she was doing well. And then she was good. She took her medication seriously. She was taking it all the time. She was communicating back home. For the first time, SNM was saving, because all the monies that she had back in Ghana, she spent them because she was manic. But in Benin, she was saving. And by the time she came back, I told her to save. By the time she came back, she had some money with me. Then I gave it to her and she did something very wonderful with it. In Benin, I realized that she was doing her quiet time all the time. And as a Christian, one thing that really helped Issy is relying on God, on her quiet time, on her prayer life, on her Bible study. These things have actually helped her to become stable and to do better. So she came back to Benin, and before she left Benin, she told me once she was having a 14 days fasting. I was like, I thought she couldn't do it, but then she did it. So she had a very stable life. She came back to Ghana, and then so level 400 was in Benin, and she has to come and do level 500 back in Legon. Because she's a French student, she had to take 5 years in completing her course. When she came back, trust me, things were better. Because she belonged to AGCM, Legon chapter, she was doing well. Now she joined one of the ministries, that is the Sunday school ministry on campus. So she was one of their teachers, one of the Sunday school teachers. Esther had roommates that are very good. I remember Aquile was her roommate, and for the first time in many years, Esther's roommates had very good relationship with her. She was seen as the mother of the room. Aquile looked up to Esther. They even took people in their room. They helped them. It looks like everybody who had issue around Esther, they came to him, and Esther was helping. When I visited on campus, she was doing so well. People were now looking up to him. Hey, sorry. This is Esther who was having issue with her roommate all the time. Now in level 500 back on Legon campus, she was advising people. She was counseling people. She became a mother to many people on campus, the ladies especially. And everybody was coming to her for kind of advice. So there were most of them she was telling me, so I was keeping record of them. And it was a perfect year, trust me. She lived a very good life on campus after that. She didn't experience any manic episode. She didn't experience any depression at that stage. Before she left for Benin, because she was unstable with academics, she had some papers to write because she had to do receipts. I was surprised. I told her she could do it. In fact, I encouraged her, but right in front of her, I did not show that I had doubts in some of the things that she had to do. I always reposed my trust in her, told her that she can do anything that she put her heart to do. And one of the favorite scriptures I made her memorize was Philippians chapter 4 verse 8, and it says that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I made her memorize that, and it became part of her. So anytime she's doing something and she remembered that scripture, she knew she could do it because Jesus was in the picture. Thankfully, she was able to resist that 3 papers together with the papers that she registered for the year. And then she passed all of them. One of them, she had to take some classes with one of the TAs, and she was consistent. She did it easily. I was not surprised she did it easily because she was a bright student and she's a bright student. She's a very intelligent student. She sat those papers, she did very well. She sat the papers for the semester, she did very well, and then she completed a year and it was perfect. So throughout her life in Benin, and then the time she came back to Ghana, the first semester, especially of the level 500, they were perfect. And Esther was doing the things that she's supposed to do as a bright student, things that she was doing previously. And she had a stable life, and then we're happy with it. This made us understand that if Esther is stable, there's nothing she could not do. Now, in 2018, half of her level 500, she started well on campus. She finished, she did well, and then she came back home. When she came home, I remember telling her that now that she's home, she has come to a different environment, because in the house, she has experienced both sides of the pole. She has been depressed, and then she has been manic in that state, in the house before. So there was something in the house that will remind her of the things that she has gone through before, even though she did well back in school. So I reminded her that now you are home, there's possibility that this will come, but just make sure that you forget the things behind and then move on, press on, because national service, she had already registered for her national service as well. We bless God so much that she did well. She came home, and then she had another family at MF Estates, Mataheko. She had another family there, so she was just shuffling 2 families, that is Sakumono and then Mataheko. But I realized that she was more comfortable with Mataheko because she had a friend and a sister, Amaisa, who has been very helpful. When you take Queen, when you take myself, when you take Esperance, when you take Selassie, and some of her roommates like Aquile and Akofa, Ama Esa had been there with SNM because they were reading the same program. She went to France and Esa went to Benin, but they were in the same program, so they have been at lectures together. And then they have been sisters, they have been in the same room for some time, so they are very good friends and sisters. So she was shuffling the 2, and then it was good, so she did it. And then she had also joined Scripture Union as a camp officer, and Esa was doing so well with camp. I remember one of the camps, she was the camp secretary. Trust me, she did perfectly well. All these things, I was encouraging her that look, these things are past. The things that happen to you, manic episode, in depression state, they are past. You can do it. Things happen to Christians. These times I got so close to Essay and she got close to me too. Became very close, and the people even saw it. So things moved on very well. She started her national service as a teacher at Michelle Camp, a school in Michelle Camp, until she relapsed again before her graduation. And this came at a wrong time because Essay all the time wanted to be part of her graduation. And during this relapse in a manic state, she became aggressive. One of the things that happened is that when she's becoming manic, she's very aggressive. So I have to come in. It was so bad that she was admitted at Kolebu Mental Health Ward. She was admitted there. I even went to visit her. That's what one time that I met some of her friends there. I went to visit her and I encouraged her that everything will be fine. And then I'll make sure that she goes for her graduation. She never ever wanted to miss graduation. She can imagine she being in school for 5 good years and not being part of her graduation, especially if she didn't have any graduation picture. Her parents were very supportive. Her family very supportive. So I spoke with her mom. I told her mom that I think Essay must go for a graduation, but they were scared that she may go and display in quotes at her graduation. I remember one thing she said about her friend who also had this mental health issue, that close to her graduation she experienced it and her doctors had to take her there because she wanted to be part of the graduation. Following on that information, I told her parents that if Essay doesn't go for this graduation, she will be very mad at all of us. No matter how difficult it is, let's make sure that she goes for this graduation. Even if one of the nurses at her ward in Kolebu will accompany her to her graduation, for her to be there, take her graduation pictures and be taken back to the ward, that will be okay. Because she kept telling me, she was told by the nurses there that they were not allowing her to go for her graduation. And then she was scared. At a point she was even crying. So she called me about this issue. And I told her that she should relax. I'm going to make sure that she goes. Now, if you have a friend who has this issue, one of the things you should do is that in these states, don't shout on them. Whatever they tell you, don't throw it overboard. Have a listening ear, listen to them very well. You will know that this way we can't do it. But just encourage them. When you do encourage them, they cooperate with you. They will even take their medication. And whatever you ask them to do, they will do, because they know that you are somebody who listens to them. They will have wild ideas. Listen to those ideas. Tell them we will do it. But they should just promise you that they are going to take their medication and be fine. After they are fine, everything they are telling you to do, we are going to do them. And trust me, they will do it. So I told her that she should take her medication. She should relax. She shouldn't do anything wrong. She shouldn't do anything absurd at the ward. And I'm going to make sure that she goes for the graduation. But I knew I could help her go. I told her parents about it. They were not happy because apparently they had already given her money to go and pay for a graduation gown and registration, and then she had already spent the money. At that time she was manic. They didn't know. And when she's manic, one of the things she does is that she spends, because she becomes spendthrift. In a natural state, Essay is somebody who gives a lot. She's a giver. Naturally, she's a giver. So when she's manic, everything heightens. So when she's manic, whatever money she has, she can clean her bank account and do good to people, to buy things for people. Things they have not even asked of, things they do not need. She will buy them and give it to these people. So at that stage, she has gone to campus and bought things for all her friends that she has seen them for some time. She bought things for them. She was so excited seeing them, including the money that she was given by her parents to pay for her gown. Now her father said, I'm not giving you money again because you have spent the money. And that's threw her into a different state. I encourage her that we are going to do this together. Fortunately, her parents, her family had a friend, a family member on campus, an uncle to Essay on campus who is a lecturer. They spoke with him, and then he promised them that he was going to get them a gown. At the time, I hear the gown was even done, but he found a way to get Essay a gown. And then they were able to take Essay there, and then he had her graduation. And she was very excited about that. Today, she still flaunts her graduation pictures on all her social media platforms because they were very beautiful. And she was very happy she did it. But before the graduation, we went through a state. Because she was manic, she has created a WhatsApp page, a WhatsApp group, and she has put all her friends she knew there. those on campus, those home, and her family members. She has put all of them on the page, telling them about her graduation plans, and the plans were superb. We needed some thousands of Ghana cedis to do that. I knew that Ese would not want to do this under her normal states, but because she was manic and she had wild ideas, she has even drafted, a program guideline. She has made me the MC. She has called on people to come. When I checked the page, I realized that there was something wrong with my sister. And I knew most of the people there, so I had to chat them outside the page and told them that we have some issue. Ese is not feeling so well, and whatever she is telling you there, you don't pay attention to this, because if we pull down the page, she's going to be mad at us. If you exit the page, she's going to be mad at you. If I come on the page and I put any information that is contrary to what she's saying, she's going to be very mad at me. So I have to find a way to manage the damage that she has done. So I have to do a damage control. I spoke with Aquile, her roommates, and all those that are close to Aquile, and I told them that it's not going to come on, the party is not going to come on, but if you have time, you can come and support Issy, but we are not going to have any graduation party, and that Issy is not fine. So I succeeded in telling everybody around that Issy is not fine, and that they shouldn't pay attention to what she's saying on the page. And that's how come people did not come around, because they would have come with expectation that Issy is going to have a party, and they will be very much disappointed. And the kind of things she was putting there, the kind of food, the desserts, the things that she was mentioning, they were very great plans. So I did that on her behalf, and her parents were very worried about the fact that she has created a group, because somebody in the group had called the parents and told them what Asa was doing. They called me, I told them I have seen the page, I'm on the page myself, and then I had called people to tell them that they shouldn't take that serious. So the parents were relaxed now, and they said if I'm doing it, then that's fine. So they were relaxed. And so Asa went for a graduation. Her father was there, her mother was there, her brother was there. She was so happy they were all there in her manic states before she came back home. She was doing her national service, so everything was fine. So when she came, things went on gradually, and then I made another mistake. And please, if you are listening to me, don't make this mistake. If you have any friend or a family member who has any form of mental health disorder, don't do that. When she was preparing for her graduation, she consulted one of our friends who is also a nurse, who sells human wig, that she needed some, and what she was asking for was very expensive. And the kind of description and the things she was saying and the way she was pressurizing the lady for which she's not paying, the lady was a bit alarmed. Thankfully, she called me, and one good thing about Issa is that people know that I'm very close to her, and then when I speak, she listens. So when there's any issue and they get to know, I'm the first person they call until they don't know me, but I'm the first person they call for me to talk to Issa or to find out exactly what was happening. So what happened is that I managed to speak with the lady and told the lady that Issa is not fine. She's a nurse, a medical person. She understood that Issa is going through this kind of situation. So just give her a head on, but don't promise her anything. Because if you try to restrain and to resist what she's telling you, she may get annoyed with you and speak to you in a way you may not like. And the mistake I made was that when Issa was fine, out of the manic episode, she was fine, she asked me some of the things she did. Actually, I don't tell her. Most times I don't tell her. But for that of the week, she kept asking, she persisted. So I told her everything. And when I told her, she felt so bad, because this is somebody that we all know as Scripture Union. Esenam felt so bad about what she has done that she slipped into depression states. And trust me, it took us about 4 weeks to help her to come out of that depression. And the depression, when she's depressed, like I told you, she doesn't pick anybody's call. She lose interest in anything around her. She wouldn't take a bath. She wouldn't brush her teeth. The only thing she would try to do is to eat. She wouldn't pick her calls. I'm the only person when I call, she picks. Because she will hear positive things from me. And after that, so I kept visiting. So she went to see one of her aunties. I went there to visit her. I went there to encourage her and to tell her that this thing, the lady has even forgotten about, that she should come out. It took her some time. But after that, she came out, and I learned my lesson that I will never ever detail her whatever she did, either when she was manic or when she was depressed. So 2018 ended on a good note because she recovered. She didn't go back. She started the good things she was doing. She started becoming a bold person. She stopped looking down upon herself. She started going back to God, doing her Bible study, doing her quiet time, and she was doing well with her family as well. So the last 2 years, 2017, 2018, was a good year, barring that small technical hitches where she relapsed. But then we helped her as a family, as a friend, to come out of that. SA has a very good support system. People around her are very good. Her family members, her friends, her classmates, scripture union. So anytime she's in that condition, we're able to bring her out. Thank you. So the last thing we'll talk about is 2019 and 2020, and that will come very soon. Thank you for your time. Thank you.